Right, welcome to 10 Things We Hate About Interview with a Vampire. Hopefully you will have checked out 10 Things We Love About Interview with a Vampire. Go do that. We always do love first before we do the hate because, hey, we want to be more positive. But ultimately, these are double lists, and we're doing the 10 Things We Hate About the Interview with a Vampire movie. The most famous, one of the most famous vampire horrors out there. 10 Things Hate. Pretty easy for me. Didn't really struggle with this one. It was more about making it concise and not just going that scene, that scene, that scene, that scene. Whereas for you... You love the movie.
It's one of my favourite top three. So.
But then you can start.
Okay.
Yep.
So my top number one is it sounds like a silly one, but I don't own this movie anymore. My VHS copy was like my treasure possession. I used to watch it like every day for I don't know how long. I loved my little. It's one of my favourites. So I don't own that anymore, and obviously I want to watch it again for this. I know the film back to front. I can quote it word for word, but I haven't got it as a physical copy anymore.
You're right, that is stupid.
That's quite a silly hate, but it is.
That's fine.
I say, sometimes you want to watch something, I don't have it anymore. And I used to have it as VHS. I sit there and put it on, and it's a sign of streaming things now, not owning films.
So we're not going to have much double in this because I suspect a lot of yours are like that, where mine are specific to the film.
Mine are actually quite specific. So
Right, I'm going to open with an obvious one. I think it's an obvious one that a lot of people kind of complain about, but that fucking abrupt ending.
Yeah.
Like, I get it in the story context, and I get that it's supposed to be like that and all that. But if you're like in that movie and you've got just that point, and it's just like, oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so tap, 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 what to do now?
Yeah, it didn't sit. As much as I love it, sometimes the ending just makes me go,
It's one of those, you have to end the movie somewhere, but like, then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it made me sort of think, I don't know, maybe you can argue maybe with seeing Louis again made him want to kind of get back into...
Oh no, I'm not talking about that. Not talking about that. That's
okay,
a separate one. That's a separate one.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about literally the end of the story, Louis' story, and that's what I mean by the abrupt ending.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like the end of the interview, and it's just like that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What happened afterwards? What happened here? What happened there? And I realise, like I said, you got to have a cutting off point at a certain point, but I don't like abrupt endings that kind of leave you going. Okay, or leave you wanting more, particularly because we were never getting more.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's not like leaving you wanting more and we're going to get into Vampire Part 2. Another section of the story. We weren't going to get that. You can say, well, but she had other story, but they weren't like follow-ons. They weren't continuing this story. There were different ones and all that. As you mentioned, and I'm going to go straight into it, but also a separate one for me, but it's that final scene involving Lestat. Why?
The master of a large plantation just south of New Orleans. I had lost my wife and childbirth.
Somebody changed my shorts.
She and the infant had been buried less than half a year.
It's good stuff.
I would have been happy to join you.
Good stuff. I assume I need no introduction. I feel better already.
Most of all, I longed for death. I invited it. A release from the pain of living.
Oh, Louis.
It was open to anything.
Still whining, Louis.
The men that followed.
Have you heard enough?
But it was
I've had to listen to that for centuries. Don't be afraid. I'm going to give you the choice I never had.
Like, end there then. End with the interview. Louis leaves. The interviewer picks the shit up and goes.
Yeah, because he was quite stressed out, playing the tape, and then just kind of call himself lucky that he got away.
Yeah. Why did we then have to have this extra tagged on Lestat scene, which kind of, I think, undone the final part where he was like a broken mess feeding on rats in a crypt. Where it's like, oh no, there he is, and look, he talks like the old Lestat and all that. It's like, but what happened in between that part in the crypt to this?
Yeah,
like,
the reason you can argue is maybe that when seeing Louis would kind of make him.
But did he see
work
him?
On it? He did.
When?
It was a flashback to quite a while back, but it might have taken him a while to kind of feel.
We don't know that because of the abrupt ending.
That's the only thing you can think of, that he started trying to scrape himself back with like wild animals or whatever, like he did before.
I don't know.
So, but
well, there's two of mine then in one hit.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Anne Rice doesn't take criticism well.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I found this out, and it's quite funny reading some of the comments. So if someone reads like an Amazon review for one of her books, she'll go on there. She won't just leave like 1 or 2 lines. She'll like read some of like 1,200 words
Really?
worth of So she doesn't take criticism well. She'll go back and kind of like type again. So she
Why?
yeah, I don't know. She really doesn't take it very well at all.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So
That's amazing.
yeah, so which I think you have to have a bit of a thicker skin. So it's like if you put your stuff out there, maybe if it's fair comment, then then just take it. I think you should take it a little bit better. But I thought it was quite entertaining, that one.
Unfortunately, criticism is part and parcel of it. You're always going to have critics, and you have to listen to them.
Yeah. She's done okay. I think it's like over 300 million. Something it's not a right number, but in the hundreds of millions of copies of. Books.
She's incredibly successful.
She's
She ain't got much to worry about.
Yeah.
How silly. Okay. All right. Well, we touched upon this slightly in the love one, but it's about time we talk about it. And again, I'm going to do it in a double one because it kind of has to be the case. I don't like Brad Pitt in this movie. I don't like his character Louis. Ultimately, we all know it, and it's kind of made as a joke from the start. But look, Jesus Christ, is that dude whine and whine and whine? Oh, woe is me, I'm a vampire. Yeah, it sucks. Did we get it? And so on. But he could have ended it any time he wanted.
It could, so it's an argument.
He could have done. He just whines too much for my liking, and it ties into what we actually talked about in the love video, which is ultimately Brad Pitt didn't want to do the movie. And we'll never fully know how much of that was into his character, how much of a particular scene that he was just like, I can't be doing this swamp shit, and just came across like that. It's hard to know because it's like that is the character, but how much of it came from the fact he didn't want to do it, which is a bad thing. If an actor doesn't want to do a movie, he shouldn't be doing it. Yeah, that's as simple as that. It shouldn't. It's like, well, we can't have you in this movie because if you're not going to put your all into it, if you're only going to put 95% in, 90%, that's 10% we're missing. Yeah. So we don't know how much effect. A lot of people love his character in this, so I think it is like it's more of a personal thing, but it's too much of that. Too much of that. I don't think he's that layered either. Like the other characters I feel are deeply layered, but ultimately Louis' thing is basically bored with life, becomes a vampire, bored with life. Afterlife, bored with dead life. That's it. No, that is it.
That is it.
That is it. Tell me what else there is.
Yeah, I see your point.
There's literally 3. That's it. Yeah. Go on, I just did doubled up, so.
Some of the lines come across quite cheesy.
Yeah.
Some lines, when they're delivered, I'm like, that's not.
I could name one. I actually almost wrote it, but decided not to. Okay. I will not take her alive. And then the stats he says it in such a way. The stats like, you're too late, friend. I've already done it. Yeah, that's awful. That cringe. It's cringeworthy. Yeah.
So some of it's a bit like, oh.
Yeah. Okay. An erotic scene is way less erotic when we keep cutting back to Brad Pitt and Kirsten Dunst's face. That's it. Oh, so during the entire erotic scene, it cuts from the stage to them staring and watching, Kirsten Dunst watching.
What's the point of it?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is a whole lot less erotic when you've got their faces constantly in the scene.
Yeah, but it does tie into the fact that's why they're trying to have.
They look bored. She looks fat, right? So she's interested because she's obsessed with this whole woman figure thing going on. But here's this Brad Pitt going, how much more filming have I got to do? At least I haven't got to be upside down for this. I just got to sit here,
sit and watch it.
That's it. It's like checked out mentally. But it's like it's supposed to be an erotic scene, but you can't get fully into it when you're getting cut away constantly. I feel. I disagree, Well, you can disagree. Fine, it's mine. Yeah. Go on.
There is certain elements feel a bit rushed. I like Armand. I think it's such an interesting character, and I feel like you get to the point where him and Louis are friends, and it's like, oh, bosh, done. Yeah, so there's nothing really explored. I know obviously there's quite a lot of time to feel, like as in time across like the years and the centuries they have to feel. Yeah. But I feel like I could have done with more of Armand.
I agree.
Not like a bromance or a montage of them having fun in Paris together. Actually, no, saying that, I actually quite enjoy watching it. No, but like, just a bit more of that story or a bit more of Armand. Like you can find out a bit more about Armand and stuff like that. But
I agree, Yeah. I agree, yeah. He's there and then he's not.
Yeah, oh, okay.
I'll take that and I'll tie into one I have. So the movie's over 2 hours, which is quite long for any movie. And at times it actually feels like it because it's got some very dragged out scenes. Yet other times we sped up to the point where it's almost non-existent. Yeah. And so basically, to me, the pacing's off a lot in the movie. In the sense that I said, things that need to develop, we don't get developed. Where other times we get unnecessarily lengthy. Like, could Louis have not just summed up the times together rather than having scenes that went on for so
Yeah,
long in
no,
that regard.
I-
Why does the Claudia thing get so much screen time when Armand doesn't?
Yeah.
You know?
Another example of that is where they go back to where Claudia, they have like a bit of a sad moment together, and we have to go back to where Claudia was kind of made.
Yep.
That kind of scene seems a bit like, okay, you could have just got there, or
Yep.
I don't know. It's, well, that's another example of one of them kind of scenes that I thought maybe a bit longer than what it should be, really.
Yeah, I agree.
A bit mopey.
That's the thing. It's a long movie. It's a long movie to sit through, and like I said, it feels like it at times. Yeah, I think. Yeah, go on.
There's one bit that I always watch and it really annoys me.
Go on.
There's a bit where Louis throws a scythe down after killing vampires.
Yeah.
And the scythe bounces on one of the dummies, and it clearly looks like a rubber.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And it really, every time I watch it, I'm like, I know, like I don't know. I think a scythe would bounce on a normal human arm because obviously there's a bit of give to an arm. But when I watch it, I'm like, that's clearly a dummy. That's clearly a dummy.
Oh.
And it irritates me because I love the film. I'm
What
like,
an unfortunate editing mistake.
it just bounces on, on the dummy's arm. But yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, keeping with the silly then, the initial scene where Louis and Santiago meet is goofy. It's goofy. For a movie that doesn't do goofy really at all, it's overly long,
Yeah.
but goofy as fuck. And it even plays goofy style music.
Oh, see, I disagree. I like it.
I think it's goofy.
I kind of sets him up as a bit of a joker.
Yeah,
Bit of
I get that.
scally,
I get that.
messing with him.
But
Yeah.
it's still goofy. And Louis' reactions to things and stuff like that, the turning around and like the hat knocked off and
Buffoon.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
So,
well, there we go. You know,
yeah.
I think it's goofy. I think it's a bit of goofiness in a movie that has none.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I just think it's setting up new characters, but again,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Another one of mine is, it gave me nightmares when I was younger.
Why?
The mum that died of the plague. Again, I've got a thing about faces. I don't like faces all twisted up and contorted. And it's like she's stroking her mum's hand and she's clearly been dead for a while. I'm
Oh,
like,
that's one of the worst moments of
Cuts.
acting.
Mum, I didn't come back.
Yeah, oh, you
then when
just
it cuts to her
reminded
face,
me.
I'm like, no, dead mum. Yeah.
You oh my god, I didn't put it up and I wish I had. I'm gonna add it. That scene is fucking horrendous for acting.
Oh,
she's-
mine was just like, this is a horrible face. And
No, but like that's Kirsten Dunst's bad acting.
Yeah.
Mama. You know, the fake she doesn't sound like she's crying. She sounds like she's pretending to cry. Yeah, that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not a fan of these kind of vampires. And I hold Interview with a Vampire responsible. Well, the movie's success responsible for the likes of Twilight.
Yeah, I get that.
Ultimately, you can say, well, Dracula did sexiness and all that, but Interview with a Vampire is the first one I can really think of that had vampires trying to live amongst humans, or had vampires living amongst humans and stuff like that. I definitely think this was an influencer on those later movies, and so on. And we'll do this one in the future as well. My favourite kind of vampire is ultimately the 30 Days of Night vampire. That's what I like. You are nothing but meat to me. I have no reason. Yeah, they still have the same weaknesses and problems, and they have to adapt to that. But ultimately, I don't want vampires living amongst humans. I want brutality. I want evil. I want these weaknesses to have to be hidden and things and stuff like that. Yeah, that's me.
So I again looking into this film, certain attitudes towards sort of homosexuality as well. That where Anna Rice was worried that she couldn't write certain characters with maybe like bisexual leanings and things like that because it wouldn't get made.
Okay.
So that's kind of like, because again I think it obviously written in 1976. So back then, obviously, openly gay kind of scenes or any openly gay characters wouldn't have been the thing. So the fact that she couldn't put that into a movie, there's hints to it, which
I would go further than that. I would say it's pretty on the nose at times.
So I feel like where she was kind of like held back from having any kind of thing to that was a bit.
But don't get me wrong, it wasn't like, oh, Louis and Lestat are fucking,
No.
Spending nights sticking their dicks up each other's bums and stuff like that. Not that, but they loved each other.
Yeah.
They loved each other in their own. Lestat loved Louis, and he didn't love him as a friend. He loved him.
Yeah.
You know, at the start, he was in love with him.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. He was attracted to him.
Yeah.
The same way Louis is attracted to Armand, or Armand's attracted to Louis. It's that kind of like. I don't think it's subtle. I think it's more on the nose than you think. Well, without openly saying, oh, they're gonna. It's not that kind of like homosexuality in the sense that it's about having sex or anything like that. I think it's more about the internal feelings.
Yeah, no, I'll just tell you that. My hate thing come from not from the homosexual point of it.
Obviously,
it was more about that. When someone writes something, they feel like, oh, I have to change it because it won't be accepted and things like that. That's why I thought it was a bit like, because of vampires, to get around, I think you'd have to kind of
take what you
can enjoy all kinds of stuff. So especially a vampire back then as well. So I think
if you are a homophobic vampire, you're really limiting yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think you have to. Yeah, but it's a little bit obviously different attitudes back in the 70s. So I'm glad it got remade, and obviously I did kind of do quite homoerotic scenes and
I think so. Yeah,
quite good nods to it.
A lot of cuddling and stroking each other's hair.
Yeah, when he kind of first looks at me, he's like, "Oh, you're beautiful, Louis." Yeah, things like that. I think that's because vampires.
That's what we know on the nose. Yeah,
as well, they did kind of think of themselves as kind of sort of beautiful, powerful beings.
Yep.
Male, female doesn't matter. So it was like, yeah.
No, completely. And like he ain't wrong. Brad Pitt's pale, chiseled looks.
Yeah,
he is beautiful. He's not. He's not Armand. But yeah, you know what I mean. I get it. Yeah, I totally get it. Oh, I got two more for you. Two more, and this is somehow this film is only the 10th most successful vampire film. That in itself is weird. 10th. Yeah. But it trails behind Van Helsing of all fucking movies. That is Hugh Jackman Van Helsing. Which quick about Van Helsing. I really like that movie for one reason, which is the portrayal of Dracula in that, who is one of my most hilarious, over the top things that I enjoyed. Like, that's a fun vampire, but that movie's fucking terrible, and that's more successful than Interview with a Vampire.
Yeah.
Now you could say, well, that's because Van Helsing was aimed at a younger audience. There's no real gore. It's an action movie more than anything else. Whereas Interview with a Vampire was R-rated and stuff like that. I completely get that, but like, wow, that fucking sucks. And I'd love to work out. I mean, I'll take some guesses here what the other 9 are going to be. So,
your Twilights.
And probably the individual Twilight. From that though. Blade, maybe Blade, the first Blade might be more successful. It's but then it's like none of those, even Blade, and Blade's got its own fun things going on about it. But like, if you were like, all right, which one do you want to watch? Twilight, Van Helsing, Blade, or Interview with a Vampire? I'm still likely to go Interview with a Vampire, please. Okay. Got one more, so you go next, then I guess.
My one's another silly one because again I love this film. And it had to be I was kind of grasping for things. Kirsten Dunst, when I was younger, I was so jealous of her character.
Really?
Really jealous of her character.
See, I don't like Kirsten Dunst as an actress, so I've never been able to get. Can't think of a single Kirsten Dunst role that I think, I really like her in that. She's done stuff that's fine, like Mary Jane and the Spider-Mans.
Yeah. Spider-Mans. Meet the Spider-Mans.
What's
Brain
called?
off, sorry.
But yeah, like I find her off-putting. And she's off-putting to me in Interview with a Vampire. Yeah.
I quite like. I thought she was precocious, and I quite like that. And I just because I feel the whole gothic scenery, and she got to wear all those dresses. And
don't get me wrong, the role and as an actress, she does well. I'm not knocking her ability in this, and she was young in this, and she was, like a lot of young actors and actresses, they're asked to do things that you kind of think, wow, like she had her first actual kiss
with Brad Pitt
in that movie. And she, like shit like that, and he was like 5 years I've seen it. She was like 13 and he was like 18 or something.
No, Brad Pitt's older than that then.
Okay, well, something about something. So I think
it was her first real kind of like experience of that. But yeah, it was quite disgusting.
Have you got one more or any more?
I have sequels, as always, can be hit and miss. About like just.
Do you see them as sequels? I don't really see them as sequels. I just see them as standalone movies, really.
Filmed in the same world.
Yeah, but that's not. No, I don't really see them as sequels. I know what you're saying. There's not been a movie.
But if you throw Lestat into another movie and you go, oh, Lestat, and it's like, well, that's not in any way.
Well, wasn't one of the criticisms of Queen and the Damned that the Lestat in that was basically a rock star? And it's just so fucking weird. But it's like, but that's her book.
Yeah, so that's.
But then Queen and the Damned is remembered now. Like it was a box office failure, but it's remembered for a different reason now.
Because Aaliyah played Queen of the Damned, who now died.
She died, yeah.
I think it was quite close to it being released.
Plane crash, wasn't it? Yeah, that's right. So like, it's kind of more remembered for that.
Yeah.
How many more you got? I did ask you.
I think that's the one. I think we crossed over a certain.
You've got one more.
No, I'm done.
Oh, you're done.
Yeah.
Then my last one, and it's in complete contradiction to the love one, but ultimately this is what we've always said in these videos. It will happen. Tom Cruise as Lestat. Now, I praised it in Love Video saying he did a great job in the role and stuff like that. But ultimately, it is still Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And it's Tom Cruise's face.
Bit hammy.
And it's Tom Cruise's voice. And it's Tom Cruise's overacting. And the only thing we have to pray for this is that Lestat don't do much running in the way of running. So we haven't got Tom Cruise running, because Tom Cruise runs in all his movies.
Yeah.
So we haven't got much of that. But ultimately, it is Tom Cruise. And to go back, at the time, I don't think it would have been that big of a deal because he didn't have loads of movies under his belt. But if I was to watch it now, and it's been a very long time since I've seen it, I'd probably, particularly with what's over the last X amount of years, with weirdness of Tom Cruise, Scientology,
Yeah, you judge it a bit differently.
marriage and all that, I'd find it even more off-putting, you know. I'd find it hard. I find it hard. Put it this way, we always say, we don't say Lestat, we often say Tom Cruise as Lestat. See what I mean? Like, we notice the actor more than anything else. Like, we stopped saying Antonio Banderas. We stopped just saying Armand. We often say just Louis. Do you see what I mean? Like, and I kept saying Kirsten Dunst because that's, again, I associate the actor instead of the character. And it's very much that with Lestat. Although he, like I said in the Love Video, I think he does the role with vigour. I think he does it excitable and fun and interesting and the most lively character in it.
Yeah.
But it's still just Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise has a way about him. And if you're a super fan, cool. But if you're not a fan, you're going to always struggle to get past that. Because he has some screen time.
I still think it's quite funny with the weird castings for that film. Rather than Tom Cruise we could moan about Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
That's
it's
always...
one of those things that, again, I guess it's praiseworthy. That when you can't picture anyone else doing the role. But that's because we could never have known. You could do this with any fucking film.
But I still think Tom Hanks... It's just like a list of Toms as you went through, but yeah, Tom Hanks in no way like.
No, that would have been fucking weird.
Really,
he doesn't even look. He doesn't look. No, my God, no. Yeah. Forrest Gump playing.
Yeah, I think that's the film we know. So this film might be '94 because he was.
Hello,
filming,
Louis.
Yeah, he was filming. He was filming Tom Hanks filming Forrest Gump,
right.
Which is why he couldn't do this. But yeah.
Well, it turned out right from then. He basically was in one of the most iconic movies ever.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's our 10 things we hate about Interview with a Vampire. Next time on the horror list, we will be doing 10 things we love and hate about one of my all-time favourite movies, the sister project to Return of the Living Dead for me, the sister movie, because it came out the same year and follows the same timeline for me. Demons. That's Dario Argento's Demons, as often known. We'll be doing that one. So check out that one out.